Hey, what's up? This is Chosen, and this video is going to be a champion guide for Jinglehunter, so let's get into it. Alrighty, Jinglehunter is... I'll go ahead and pull him up here. Jinglehunter is going to be in the High Elves, is a epic hero, and is kind of like this elf archer guy who is spirit affinity. As always, for all of my champion guides, I will have one of these in the video description that you can pull up and look over on your own time and kind of take your time, going over the masteries and the sets and the stat priorities and all of that. If you kind of want something as a resource, I'll have one of these in the video description for you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start with going over the hero. Jinglehunter is kind of, like a Christmas themed elf. So it makes sense that he's in the High Elves. And, a pretty cool looking character. I do like his aesthetics. And, starting with his abilities here, the A1 is going to attack one enemy 2 times with a 40% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns if critical. This is a very good A1 if you're able to get enough crit on him. Attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a freeze debuff on all enemies for 1 turn if this attack kills an enemy. So a little bit tough to get consistent value out of, but freeze is very good in the arena if you're able to get it to go off. And then Cold Snap is attack all enemies, decrease the turn meter by 20% if this attack is critical, fills the champion's turn meter by 10% if the attack is critical. Turn meter manipulation, speed manipulation in Raid Shadow Legends is very good. Some can argue it's, the strongest ability in the game is turn meter and speed. Anything that helps yours and hurts your enemies, while it doesn't work in the clan boss in some situations, it is extremely strong in the arena and in most dungeons. So any ability that has that is worth taking note of. And then also, increase ally speed in the arena by 24% is an amazing aura. We're always looking for a good leader for our arena team, and speed is usually king. Right now, the arena meta at the time of making this video kind of seems to mostly revolve around making sure you go before the enemy team and bursting them down before they even get to go. So, Jinglehunter is pretty good in that type of a meta. I don't know if he's necessarily like super end game, but Jinglehunter is a very good hero in the early to mid game and kind of transitioning into even being viable up in the higher tiers of gold. So, I will show really quick here, now that we know all of his abilities, go over the grades that I gave him. Campaign C-. He does have an AoE ability, but, you're not really going to want to equip him with, like, Lifesteal. And if you don't put Lifesteal on him, he's probably not going to have enough AoE to farm in the end game. So C- because, you're probably not going to want to use him there. Clan Boss is an F. He doesn't apply any debuffs or have any sort of utility. His A1 attacks 2 times. If it were like 3 or 4, you could argue, go Giant Slayer on him and then just spam his A1, but, even that's not really viable. The turn meter manipulation and decreasing speed doesn't work against the clan boss, so he really brings nothing of note to a clan boss scenario. The arena, I gave him an A-. He is very good early to mid game, falls off a little bit late game, but not too much. He's still definitely viable even up in the higher tiers of gold. So I think A- is pretty appropriate. And then dungeons, I gave him a B-. He's decent. He's not a super meta dungeon farmer, but turn meter manipulation, speed manipulation, and AoE, an ability to freeze, a double hit A1. He's got some utility in dungeons, so he's definitely not bad. So that's kind of the general overview here, and now I will kind of show you him in action in a dungeon, and then I'll kind of go over the arena and his gear. So just so you can kind of see him, I never clicked the right thing the first time when I'm live. That's funny. So this is kind of like a standard dungeon. I'll just go over like the Arcane Keep, so you can kind of see him battle and kind of see how he performs. Now, I actually just 6-starred mine because I've been kind of like playing around with a different arena team because I pulled Seeker. So he is not quite level 60 yet, but I had a few people requesting this video, so I didn't want to wait and until tomorrow or the next day until I can get him to level 60. I wanted to get this done, so he will be... See in there, you see all those decreased turn meters? That's pretty good. he's pretty decent versus like the trash waves of a dungeon. Oh, and it's too bad that didn't get a kill, because if he would have killed that hero, he would have had a chance to freeze, but it didn't work. So yeah, I mean, this is level 15 of the Arcane Keep, and we can see that he did about 11 or 12,000 there. So, you know, and he's not even equipped with like a ring, or I mean, he's not equipped with an amulet or a banner. He's not level 60. He's not perfectly optimized, so he does have potential to output a decent amount of damage. Okay, so there, okay, he's hitting for about 4,000 something. We can see Bellower hit for like 6,000 something, but my Bellower is way more optimized than my Jinglehunter is. So, you know, pretty comparable, decent damage. The Jinglehunter may even be able to overtake the Bellower in terms of damage output if he were more optimally geared with the type of artifacts that I have on the Bellower. Because with Jinglehunter, you have to focus on speed so much that it makes it a little bit tougher to get that damage up, and that's why he's not as optimal in dungeons as someone like a Bellower, or, you know, a hero that you're gearing with the purpose of just using in a dungeon. So we've almost got level 15 of the Arcane Keep down. And we'll go back home here and kind of, you know, show him in the arena. I guess I should show his speed first before I get into where he's really most optimal. Or show his gear. Okay, so normally you have to get his, you want him to be going first or like, you know, early. So depending on how you're playing the meta, you're probably going with like a turn meter booster and then like a couple supports and then a nuker or some sort of strategy like that, or like an attack buffer, a turn meter booster, a debuffer, and then a nuker. So you're gonna have to get his speed to kind of fit in somewhere after your turn meter booster and before your nuker. So that's why his speed for me is like a 164, because my KO is my nuker and he's at a 161. So I wanted to get it, you know, above that, but after my Bellower to debuff them, and obviously after my Seeker, my turn meter booster. So yeah, you want to get your Jinglehunter to 100% crit for sure, because remember, we have abilities here that are based off of critical. That's based off kill, and this is based off critical. So pretty paramount to get him to 100% critical and get his speed way up there. And then, yeah, you're just going to want to have, you know, some damage utility and be using him mainly for his speed aura and the turn meter reduction and the freeze on kill is kind of like what he brings to the table. So your speed sets, your crit sets are going to be kind of what you're most likely going to start with on Jinglehunter. And then you can, you know, squeeze in maybe offense pieces or cruel pieces and, you know, damage dealing pieces if you're able to get perfect enough rolls to get into that 100% crit. And, you know, that's why you're usually going to want crit rate gloves to help you out with that process. You know, attack percent chest just to really squeeze out that damage. And then you're probably always going to want speed boots on him because you're mainly going to be getting value out of him in the arena. And now I will show you, you know, this is up in gold 4. And I'll show you kind of how a Jinglehunter, you know, team, what you'd be looking for. So ideally with this type of strategy, if you're using Jinglehunter for his speed aura and making sure you kind of go first, you're going to want to look at the left side and pick banners that aren't speed ideally. So like right here, we see that this Kale on Styx 2-6 is a HP aura. And then Gorgorab, you know, and then, you know, Apothecary and what is this? You know, War Maiden. Who is this? I don't use this hero. Yeah, War Maiden. So I think we can go first here. Oh, and it won't matter now that I see their team power. But you'll kind of see how the rotation works, at least in a real arena fight. So first, we're gonna have our Seeker, you know, do the Tailwind, boost our turn meters. And then my Jinglehunter goes in front of my Bellower. I don't know why that happened, actually. Doesn't my Jinglehunter have less speed? But we can see that he did an okay job there. We were able to burst down that team. Why did my Jinglehunter go before my Bellower? Let me look at that. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see if I can figure this out live. Why did my Jinglehunter... He's at 164. Oh, okay, they're tied. 163. And because Jingle is the leader, he's going to go first. Okay, so I may actually... Well, no, it's probably good to have him go and do a turn meter debuff. So, yeah, either way... You can have, that's funny, I did the math wrong when I was kind of, you know, talking before. But, yeah, it's fine to have your Jinglehunter go second. That's no problem because he has a chance. You just want him to kind of go as soon as possible after your booster for a chance to, you know, lower those turn meters. Let's see if we can do one more fight now that we really know what's going on. We'll go into here. So, yeah, it's going to be our Seeker. Now I understand what's going on. It's going to be our Seeker going first, then our Jinglehunter going and trying to lower the turn meters, and then our Bellower to debuff them, and then our Kale to nuke. And it is worth noting that Jinglehunter really likes to use his single target attack, so you may have to manual him to try to, you know, see those decreased turn meters. You may have to manual him to get him to do that consistently. And there we go. That's kind of how it works. So yeah, sorry about that. I kind of messed that up when I was kind of designing the team for the video. And, you know, their speed being tied, Jinglehunter is going to go first because he's the leader. So that's why that happened like that. So, yeah, if you have any questions about Jinglehunter, definitely let me know down in the comments, and I'll do my best to help you out. You can always catch me on stream. I stream about 3 or 4 nights a week if you want to ask questions there or just hang out and play Raid together. So, yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.